I think normativity is one of the most fascinating issues in philosophy. And the reason why is because normativity is pervasive, is there everywhere for humans. And it poses a central question for naturalism, so for a view of life and nature that is based in empirical sciences, because norms seem to be invisible. We don't know how to account for them by just describing what is there. Norms are not there, and yet they inform the way we act. There is in principle no reason why we should refrain ourselves from doing whatever we want, and yet we do. And why do we care? Why is it so important for us to model ourselves in the light of norms? How we explain this behavior, and it really constrains our freedom. It constrains your nature in a way in which this influences your decisions, everyday life decisions, but also life long-term decisions, such as what are you going to do with your life, why you should do it, and the way you engage with others. So it's really, normativity is really the form in which we organize ourselves with respect to ourselves and others. There are, of course, different kinds of norms and rules. There are mathematical rules, such as those involving addition and subtraction. There are also social and conventional norms, such as dressing codes and driving rules. And also political and moral norms, such as those involved in promising or keeping your word, or when playing chess together. Even if these normative phenomena seem very different, there is a core they all share. They involve standards that we live up to, and they are also things through which we assess our behavior as correct or incorrect. But normativity is not limited to conventional or explicit rules, the kind of criteria you can describe linguistically. Normativity shows up in a lot of our everyday exchanges, and very importantly from very early childhood, in a way in which our responses are very creative, spontaneous, and highly contextually sensitive. When a little baby responds to her care given by smiling or showing a surprise expression, all of these interactions follow certain normative constraints. These constraints determine the way we respond to each other, showing that we have a particular understanding of each other's intentions and goals, in a way in which those are implicit in our understanding, and they are even created in the interaction. It's interesting because it promises to address what makes humans different from other animals, and also how we can make sense of us and our minds as a natural phenomenon. Philosophy hasn't taken for granted that minds, human minds, are natural. Some philosophers thought we must think of humans as gods if we are going to understand the mind. But normativity seems to provide, for me, a framework to understand minds as natural phenomena without reducing them to mere regularities in nature. But this nature is not supernature, it's just normal nature as the nature of any other animal, but it's social. It's very important for my research to draw on the work done in a number of empirical sciences. For example, developmental psychology, comparative psychology, psychiatry, evolutionary studies, and primatology. And what is special and unique about the Center for Subjectivity Research is that it gathers people from all over the world working in these different disciplines and with different backgrounds, both within and outside philosophy, to ask the same questions about the nature of the social mind.